Open crate. Oh man, it's like War Thunder all over again. 20% booster. So, the Battlefront 2 beta has ended, and here's a few thoughts about the game. So the beta featured 3 different game modes, the first of which was Galactic Assault, which was this defend, attack, objective-based multiplayer map with progressive stages, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, but it did feel a little lackluster after playing the same map about 50 times. That's only because they just included the one map in the beta, which was Naboo, the same one that they demoed at the E3 of this year. And as soon as the game comes out, we're going to have lots more maps and hopefully lots more variety of different objectives and things to do, and that's going to make it a whole lot more interesting and replayable. Similarly to that point, Starfighter Assault was the same sort of thing, but in space. The vehicle controls, they needed a lot of tweaking, for me personally. So yeah, at first the Starfighter controls felt a little bit iffy, but you can tweak them as much as you want, so you'll find a way to be able to be comfortable with them. And the other thing about Starfighter Assault, I felt it was not as interesting or engaging as Galactic Assault. I felt a little bit disconnected from the action. The first-person camera really helped in Starfighter Assault. That was a cool thing. But I kind of wanted a little bit more depth because I'm used to more simulator games, flight sims like Hill 2 or War Thunder, discounting the War Thunder arcade mode, obviously.
We've lost the flight. That dock is heavily shielded.
And lastly, Strike was this one flag, capture the flag. I love capture the flag. That's awesome that they have something like that. I can be this guy. Rocket Trooper.
I'm at your side.
Cool, man. I'm Boba Fett, except not. They did not even respond to me shooting them. Wookiees never learn. The 2 modes which were grayed out, Heroes vs. Villains. Couldn't play that one yet, but it sounds like a lot of fun. And Blast, which is just going to be Team Deathmatch. Don't ask me why they're not calling it Team Deathmatch and calling it Blast. It's kind of confusing and unnecessary. So one last point I want to make about the game modes. There is no Galactic Conquest. And that was by far my favorite of the game modes in the original Battlefront and its sequel, Battlefront 2, by Pandemic. Those were some of my favorite games on the PlayStation 2. I got them as soon as they came out in the year 2004 and 2005. And yeah, I played them to death. The reason I played them to death is I kept playing Galactic Conquest over and over again. Because it was so fun, and there's so much to do, so many different ways you can play it, but it's not that hard to program into the game, so I don't know why they don't have it here. So I'm kind of disappointed that they don't have it, but I mean, I guess what can you do? It kind of limits the game's replayability for me because it was such a fun single-player mode, which added a depth of strategy to the game. Because when you're just running in, at least for me personally, when you're just running in and shooting guys in multiplayer, yeah, I'm kind of over that gameplay aspect. You know, I'll play like only so much of that because there's no depth on top of it. I mean, even Red Orchestra 2 has like a conquest mode in its multiplayer now, where you have to capture territories and take them back from each other. So it's progressive, and you get a little cutscene if you win at the end. It's not too hard to program, but they don't have it. So there's my one biggest complaint, probably, but I'm not going to go on too much about that. And as you probably know, the game features all 3 eras of Star Wars, so prequels, original trilogy, and the new stuff that's coming out. You may have noticed that the hero characters that you can get in the game are from any whichever era, and it doesn't matter if they're on Naboo or in whichever saga they're in. You can just go as Boba Fett if you want to play as Boba Fett. And I'm wondering if they're gonna keep it that way, like, for example, if you can play as Darth Maul on the Death Star or something like this. Or if they're gonna fix it up and be like, okay, yeah, only these heroes are available on this map and these heroes are available on that map. But I don't know why they do it. It's not really a complaint. I don't mind that they did that. It's just something that you kind of notice while playing it. Like, you see Rey running around Naboo and killing battle droids. It's a bit like, One more thing to talk about is the campaign mode that's coming up, and you've seen from the trailers, it looks really good, so I really want to know what happens in the story and fill in the gaps between Episode 6 and Episode 7. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that, probably the most. Other than that, I just really enjoyed the beta. I'm looking forward to the full game, and yeah, it's got my approval. I'm really glad that it runs well on my computer. I did just upgrade my RAM to 12 gigs, so you might struggle a little bit if you have 8 gigs, but I don't know. And I really hope that they make a lot more Star Wars games, because we've been missing them. At least I've been missing games like Empire at War or something like that. If they made a new Empire at War, it would be so good. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, see you next time, and take care.